Emotional attraction. A lot of the desire that a woman feels to be affectionate, hug you, kiss you, and have sex with you comes from not ruining the build-up of pleasure that comes with being around each other, right? The emotional attraction, the good feelings, the good vibe, the good times, the great companionship that you and her share. For example, when I got engaged to my girlfriend, who is now my wife, and she posted up our engagement announcement on Facebook, she had about 65 to 70% of the likes from her Facebook friends compared to mine. She laughed and jokingly said, "Haha, I win. I have more friends than you." I had the thought of saying, "Yeah, you have more Facebook friends and I have more friends in real life." But I just let it slide. Saying something like that wouldn't have provided any benefit to our relationship, and it would have ruined the emotional pleasure that she was feeling and that her and I were feeling at that point in time, being the big engagement announcement. That was a big deal for her, and it was pretty cool for me too. But if I were to say something like, "Oh, well, yeah, you got more friends on Facebook, but I got more friends in real life," and even tried to write it off as a bit of a joke, it still isn't cool. It still is going to ruin the emotional pleasure that her and I feel while being around each other. There's just no point in trying to make her feel bad about something, right? And trying to get her back and be the one who wins all the time, right? You have to be emotionally strong. You have to not take things like that so personally, where your woman tries to tease you or make a dig at you or poke you in a weak spot and see how you react. Or she just says it as a joke and didn't really mean anything by it, and then you turn it into something that creates an argument between you and her and negative tension, right? You don't need to win all of those battles that you think that you need to win, right? Sometimes you just need to let things slide and not worry about it. So an example that applies to all relationships is that as you go through your day-to-day life and you maybe face challenging times, you keep a happy, positive, light-hearted attitude. So say for example, you're going to the supermarket or grocery store and your woman is at home and she's doing something or whatever. Rather than saying, "Yeah, well, I gotta go get some bloody groceries now, I gotta go do some shopping, I'll be stuck in traffic and then I'll go get that and I'll come back and hopefully I'll get to relax for an hour or two before going to bed," or whatever. Rather than being in that sort of frame of mind and complaining about things that aren't going to go away. Unless, of course, you order your groceries online. But day-to-day things that aren't going to go away, that are going to be in your life, it's better to have a happy, positive, light-hearted attitude and make you and her feel good while you're going through it. So rather than being negative about it, you can make a bit of a joke about it. You can say, "Well, all right, well, I'm off to the supermarket. I'm going to have loads of fun buying all the meat and vegetables, and I might even get some toilet paper when I'm there. And oh yeah, we need some fly spray as well. Cool, this is going to be so much fun. I'm going to go to the grocery store." And then have a laugh with her about it. And you and her feel good as a result of that. And because you and her are feeling good, the emotional attraction is there. Like, you feel good around each other. It feels fun, it feels happy, it feels stress-free. There are always challenges and obstacles that every couple faces in life, and it's not an easy road for anyone as they go through life. But with the day-to-day things that you encounter and that are going to be there, it's better to turn it into something that you feel good about. You don't have to make a joke about it every time you go into the supermarket or grocery store, for example, but if you make a joke about those sort of things and you're in a happy disposition, you're in a happy mood, you have a happy outlook, then life's going to feel better for you and her. Now, the benefit of that, other than just feeling good around each other, is that she's going to feel happier and she's going to be more relaxed. When women are stressed out and they feel uptight and tense, they're not into sex that much. They don't show much affection and they tend to close up, not be the sexual being that they can actually be. So when you are able to be the emotionally strong one and lead the way to a happy, positive, lighthearted approach to life, you and her feel less stress and you feel happier, you feel better around each other, and then she has that emotional attraction for you, right? She's emotionally attracted to you and how you make her feel. When she's around you, she feels good. Maybe around her co-workers, she feels stressed out, and some of her friends stress her out, maybe her family stresses her out, but she can always rely on you. When she's around you, she feels good, right? You don't make a problem out of things that don't need to be a big problem. You don't make a big deal out of things that can be looked at in a more lighthearted, positive way. Another personal example of this is where, I'm working during the day, and I work 8 to 10 hours a day on The Modern Man, and, my wife cleans the house, she cooks, and, looks after the cats. Now, one day she was on her phone checking social media as usual, usually chatting with her family, her auntie, her mum, her sister, her grandmother, and some friends. There's always chatting and phone calls going on and clicking like and posting this and that. That's what she's into. And I was going upstairs to do some work, and I said, all right, well, when are you going to start cleaning the house? And she said, all right, I'm going to get started just in a minute. I'm just chatting with whoever. I'll get started in a minute. I then came downstairs an hour later, and she was still sitting on the couch in the same position. I said, huh? You haven't started cleaning yet? She said, hang on, just a minute. And I said, no. And then I walked over, grabbed her by the ankles, and playfully pulled her off the couch, and then dragged her around the lounge room a little bit, then pinned her down, started tickling her, and made her promise that she was going to start doing the housework now. So that ended up with her and I laughing and feeling good. Now, imagine if I came downstairs and I said, well, what are you still doing on the couch? Well, like, you told me you were going to clean up the house. The house is a mess. Get started. Like, I'm working so hard. I'm doing this and doing that. And look at you. Imagine if I had that sort of attitude. Imagine the emotional attraction that she would be able to feel for me. It'd be basically none. She would feel annoyed being around me. She would feel stressed. She would feel like she's being pressured and suffocated and treated like a slave. So when it comes to reacting in that way, choosing to be happy and positive and lighthearted, don't beat yourself up if you don't always do that and you haven't been doing it right up until this point. It's something that you need to get used to, right? We're either in the habit of getting angry and stressed and frustrated, or in the habit of being happy and positive and lighthearted. Obviously, being happy, positive, and lighthearted is a much better life to live, right? When a woman is stressed out and you're always arguing with her and you're trying to get her to fall into line and do things properly, then she's stressed out, you're stressed out, she's not interested in sex, you're annoyed that she's not interested in sex, and it doesn't feel good to be around each other. You're not in love, you're not happy to be in love, you're not excited to see each other and hug each other and cuddle into each other in a warm way. It's like, she didn't do the bloody housework. I've been telling her to do it, and every day she's on that phone of hers, clicking like and chatting and things, and and that's not a fun life to live, right? You are either going to choose to be in a lighthearted mood, be positive and be happy, or you're going to choose to react in a frustrated, angry, or annoyed way and be stressed out. It really is up to you. And if you do make a mistake and react in a stressed out way, an angry way, a frustrated way, an annoyed way, don't beat yourself up about it. You need to give yourself a little bit of time to develop the habit, rather than thinking that you have to do everything perfectly every moment, every day, and if you stuff up once, then you're doing it all wrong. No. As long as you know that you made a mistake and then you do it better the next time, then everything's fine.